This is a public service announcement for anyone who may be offended by the contents of this episode, because I will offend you. This show is not about me. This show is all about you. This is Mahdi Unfiltered. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mahdi Unfiltered, the first show that I am doing, and it is going to be labeled common fucking courtesy, which is something that no one apparently has these days. No one has common courtesy, whether it's in traffic, it's at the gym, it's at the hair salon, it's at the airport, no matter where it is. Where I live, no one has common courtesy. If you are going to take a turn and the asshole has a football field's length in front of you, he will speed up just so you can't take that turn so he can go first, even though you will make it if you go the speed limit and you will not obstruct his way in any way, shape, form possible. It is just unrighteously screwed up. When we drive, there is a level of common courtesy, just like if we were standing in a line or we were going to give up to our seat to an old lady. We just get up and we give it to them. Or if we're standing in line and, someone that needs to be in line in front of us, we, with a kid or something, we just let them go in front. There's nothing wrong with it. It's one person. It's 2 minutes or 5 minutes out of your life. But lately, I just see it more and more often that people, even if it's the bathroom. Shit, I was walking in the bathroom the other day. This guy was behind me, saw me and my kid were running, we were going forward. He had to go pee. Like, DJ had to go to the bathroom. What the hell am I going to do? This guy just kind of speeds off right in front of us just so he could get into the last stall. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? But 10 minutes later, we go to another bathroom because DJ had a lot to drink that day. He had one of those big-ass lemonades from whatever that shit is on TikTok. That thing, the lemonade stand that's in the middle of the mall. Well, he had a big-ass one of those. I drank my fair share, as usual. But he had to pee like several times, and we go to the bathroom, and we get into the bathroom. This really nice guy, not a Kuwaiti, definitely, was standing next to us. Someone gets out of a stall, and he says, go ahead, you and your kid. And I was like, no, dude, it's fine, man. He can hold it. DJ's like, yeah, daddy, I can hold it. And the guy's like, no, you have a little kid with you. It's okay. And I'm like, wow, that was really nice of you, man. Thanks, buddy. But just go ahead. And that was like the nicest thing I had seen in the longest time. And it just bewilders me how shitty people are. For hell's sake, I'm actually driving today. All right, I'm driving down the road, and these people are coming out of a turn. They're coming out of a restaurant complex. Okay, just imagine they're at a stop sign, and you have the right of goddamn way. And there's only one lane, but some other asshole decides to turn it into 2 lanes. So both of these cars are side by side, and I'd say there's about 300, maybe 400 meters between me and them. What do these assholes decide to do? They both decide to pull out at the same exact time. Well, the guy on the right, that was the asshole who created the other lane, he decided to pull out a little earlier, and I saw him nudging out, and the other guy's coming out too. So I was the asshole that just sped up and went, like, hey, dude, what are you doing? And I made them speed up. But the reality was I was just pissed because this son bitch, he created another lane when he didn't. How often does that piss you off when you go to a U-turn and you're waiting patiently behind 60 other cars and some piece of shit pulls all the way from the back of the line into the front, cuts the asshole off over at the U-turn, comes in and around? How much does that piss you off? Because it drives me up the goddamn wall. I swear to God, if I have to see that happen to me one more time, I will get out of my car and I will pummel the sumbitch that does it. Because you know what I do now? And this is the most acidifying thing that someone can do, is I will go and I will just ease out just enough so I could block him from going, or her. Usually it's a her these days. For some weird reason, women have been cutting me off like crazy. But I will ease out a little bit so that they can't make that U-turn. They can't turn out. They're kind of jelly jammed between the curb and between the, oh shit, I don't know what to do area. Because if this guy pulls out and I pull out after him, I'm going to be late to the parade. So I usually do that, block them out. I get out. And, to me, I hope it teaches them a lesson. But in reality, I know it won't teach these bastards a lesson because they just have zero common courtesy to begin with. And that's what it comes down to. If you are that asshole, if you are listening to the show and you are that asshole, don't be that asshole. Seriously, don't be the asshole that cuts everybody in line to get to the U-turn a little bit sooner. Like, dude, I don't care if you're late for work. Some bitch, you should have woke up 15 minutes earlier and taken a shower a lot sooner than everybody else So you would have been out the door with your breakfast or your little Starbucks coffee. Like, dude, it is common goddamn courtesy. There is no excuse to cut 60 people off in a line. I don't care what it is. Unless someone is dying and you are rushing them to the hospital, then okay, fine. All is well. You have the green light to do whatever the fuck you want. But if there is no rush and you're going to where all the gyms and the Starbucks are, you're a piece of shit. That's about it. All right? Plain and simple. And like I said at the beginning of the show, if you do not like it, if you don't want to listen to it, if you think this is stupid, then simply turn it off because I don't want you listening to it to begin with. You are not the type of person that should listen to the show. The type of person that will listen to the show is the person that says, fuck yeah, that is me. I'm sick of people like that. I'm sick of shit like that. Why don't we try and build a little bit more common courtesy in our society, maybe by telling people when they are wrong? For instance, the other day I was at, I think, Starbucks. This guy comes over. I'm waiting patiently in line, and I'm social distancing. You know, that's just what happens these days. I'm social distancing. There's about 4 to 5 feet between me and the person in front of me. And then this guy comes, and I think he thought, I don't know what he thought, but he just walks right in front of me. And he just goes right in front of me. He's standing there. He's about to make his order, and I just tap him on the shoulder. I say, buddy, and I said this in Arabic. I was like, look, with all due respect, you know, I was here first. I don't understand what you're doing. Why would you cut in front of me? He looks at me. He goes, oh, you speak Arabic. And I was just like, it doesn't matter if I speak Arabic or Chinese. You shouldn't cut in front of somebody. That's just rude. And, you know, the guy, he got embarrassed, obviously, and, you know, just walked to the end of the line, which surprised me because he didn't start an argument and I was kind of being a dick, which I think I should have been a dick. And I had every right to be an asshole in that situation because, look, at the end of the day, there's no point in doing that. I mean, it's just, you're a shitty human being. You were raised with zero principles and zero respect if you can actually move forward and do something like that. You know, it's just like the assholes that will cut in front of the line. They just have zero respect. They were raised with nothing. You know, they were raised with, you know, absolutely anything. I mean, it dumbfounds me how some people can actually go ahead and do that. But going back to what I was saying, at the end of the day, I mean, this whole thing about common courtesy, and it relates not only to normal people and normal situations, but I go to the gym a lot. If you look at my Instagram, you will notice that most of my posts are me in the gym. I have no goddamn life. I just like to train. I try to stay as competitive as possible at my age, which is, you know, the ripe old age of 38. And when I'm at the gym, I go to different gyms, and there are gyms where people know what they're doing. They understand gym etiquette. They understand what to do and what not to do. And that's great. But then there are gyms that I go to, and they're fucking clueless. Like, I mean, clueless to the point where they will walk under a bar with 225 pounds on it and have zero cares in the world that I just might drop that bar on the head. It's like, motherfucker, what are you doing? How fucking stupid are you? Like, how stupid? Did your parents drop you on your fucking head when you were a kid? What the fuck are you doing? I mean, you don't do that at a gym. You just don't do that anywhere, period. If someone's holding something overhead, you don't walk underneath them. It's kind of like you don't walk underneath a ladder or else you get 7 years or 11 years bad luck for that instinct. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And I don't know why people keep doing that shit. It pisses me off. Or, not to mention, my favorite is when I'm doing like a deadlift or a row and my bar's on the ground and some bastard will just step over my bar casually as I'm standing in front of it, ready to grip the bar. And I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would you even do that? Again, it's just common courtesy, especially when it comes to spacing and your own space and you utilizing your own space, even if it's a fucking 2x2 meter square or a 1x1 meter square. The other day I had a 1x1 meter square. I was doing all my shit in a little goddamn box away from everybody. And I think I was doing power cleans or something. It's basically you kind of swing the bar up. For those who don't know what it is, you swing the bar up, you catch it, drop it to the ground, you swing it back up, you catch it. It's a very boring movement. I don't know why I do it. I do it because I like it, and it's kind of stupid. But in general, I'm doing my power cleans. Oh, sorry, no, it was a ground to overhead. So you swing the bar up, you catch it on your shoulders, and then you shoot it over your head. So I swing the bar up and this son bitch, he walks literally 3 inches away from my bar as I get it to the shoulders and I'm ready to jolt it over my head. I swear, I thought I was going to take his freaking nose off. And I sent the video out to my close friends because I didn't want other people who I don't want seeing that and circulating the video. I looked and I just said, stupid fucker, stupid motherfucker. I was so pissed off that someone would do that. And then I didn't send this video out, but there was this kid. I mean, he had to have been like 20, 21. He comes out. I'm doing the same thing. He's ready to walk over my bar as I'm doing these ground to overheads. And he's coming over. And I'm like, no. And he still walks and comes by. And I'm just like, son of a bitch. Like, what do you not understand when someone is doing an explosive movement that is not only dangerous to themselves, but dangerous to the people around them, especially you dumb son of a bitch for walking in front or over that bar. You are just stupid. And where is the common courtesy in that? And after I was done, I politely went over to this kid and I said, hey, look, buddy, when you see someone doing Olympic lifts, make sure you walk around them. Go the other way. Go 15 feet or 10 feet out of your way so you don't get hurt. It's not for me. He goes, there was a class there and I didn't want to walk through it. I said, well, why didn't you walk around it? Couldn't you have walked around the circle of 5 or 6 people that were doing, they were just having a circle jerk, a cookie little circle over there? Like, why couldn't you just walk around them? If you walked around them, you wouldn't have had this problem. Like, son of a bitch. Just seriously. If you see people doing that in your gym or you see people doing that in your coffee shop, please stop them immediately, okay? They will not learn if people do not embarrass them and stand up for themselves in public because these sons of bitches, they think it's okay. The other day, I swear to God, this is no joke, absolutely no joke. I am coming out of work. Okay, I just taught a class. I was at the gym. I had done a WOD, everything. It was a long day. I'm coming out of work. I take the turn. I usually take the back roads so I can cut through the traffic because there's traffic that goes all around. So I take all the back roads and I come out the other way. There's nothing wrong with it. No disrespect, nothing at all. I'm just a lot smarter than most people. So, I get on this road and apparently I'm not smarter than most people because there was a drive-through. Now, instead of everyone staying to the right of the street, they're staying in the middle of the street because they have to hook a big right-hand turn to go through the drive-thru because it's a really tight turn. So the stupid idiot who opened the restaurant could have made it a little more convenient, but the dumbass who gave them the permits for the drive-thru should have made it so that they weren't blocking traffic. So this lady's blocking traffic. And, over here in Kuwait, typically women don't talk to men, and which is fine, whatever. So this lady, she's blocking the road. I can't get through. And I literally put my window down and I go, why are you blocking the whole road? Why couldn't you just go over a little bit so I could get through? And she goes, oh, we're hungry. I was like, but you're eating right now. And she goes, but she's hungry. I was like, but you guys are eating something now. You're that hungry you can't get out and go to the coffee shop either? You have to stay through the drive-thru. You have to block the road. And she just started laughing and I'm just like, what the fuck? And finally this car goes so she could go move forward and everything was good, and I just kind of beeped, and I just kind of clapped and gave her a thumbs up. I didn't know what else to do. I stopped flipping people off, by the way. I stay away from flipping people off just because it's more enjoyable when you clap and give them a thumbs up. They go absolutely batshit, and I think for me that is really enjoyable and then when they stop or they try to stop me, which is also really funny because they'll stop me and realize I speak Arabic or I speak English, and then they're like, oh shit. And then they see the size of me and they're like, oh my God, you're a lot bigger than me. Yeah, because usually it's a scrawny guy that does this shit. And, they'll just go batshit. And then they see me or, I speak to them and they're like, oh, okay. They'll try and pull me over and I'll just pull over with them. I don't even care anymore. And usually I talk to them with a lot of respect too. I'm like, please, what you did was A, it was dangerous, and B, it put me in danger. I don't know why you do that. And most of the time when you make people feel really stupid, they actually listen to you and they say, okay, I'm sorry. And even the stupid people, even the assholes, they will realize how stupid they were sometimes. And they'll be like, sorry, except for that son of a bitch that always parks in the unloading area at Trolley or at one of the gas stations. Gas stations will have the unloading area so the trucks can park and unload everything straight into the store if they don't have a back door. Well, here in Kuwait, there's a place called Trolley, and there are parking spaces on either side, and then there's like a there's 2 metal poles and there's enough room for a truck to back in so that they can unload things. And it clearly has, black and yellow stripes, so you can't park there, nothing. And continuously, I see people parking there. And even my 6-year-old son said, Daddy, that's not a parking space. Why are they parking there? And I just tell my son, DJ, they're idiots. They're disrespectful idiots. That's it. That's all I can say to my kid. I mean, what else am I supposed to say? Like, people just don't have respect for the rules. And I teach my son to have respect for the rules. I try to respect the rules as much as possible. And I don't. I have to be honest. There are times where I will break the rules or bend the rules, but with a level of respect. I mean, I'm not going to go like sneakishly run to friggin' the front of the line and be like, hey, I'm on the front of the line. Yeah, I just cut people off so I can gain 2 minutes of my life. That is amazing. That's the stupidest goddamn thing I ever heard in my life. Like, seriously, this dude gained 2 extra minutes of his life for what? So he can have 2 more minutes of freaking Pornhub in the middle of his gym parking lot and having his socks knocked off. Jesus Christ. Well, good for you, buddy. That's awesome. Seriously. Like, dude, just wait your turn. It's not hard. We all have to wait in life. That's just a story of life. You wait for shit. You wait for shit to happen. You wait for shit to go right. It's just a waiting game in life. You wait for the WOD to end. You wait for your workout to finish. You wait for your wife who's always 15 minutes late in the car. You wait for your friends who are always late and you're always 20 minutes ahead of time. That's just life. Just wait the extra 2 minutes. And when we talk more about common courtesy, let's look at the other things. Let's look at the small things, like the guy that was going to let me and my son go into the bathroom. That really touched me. That was admirable. I really admired that guy for doing that because I don't think no one's ever done that to me. I have done that with people. I swear to God, right hand up to God. I've let, men with their little kids go in front of me at the bathroom. I've actually gotten up out of my seat for pregnant women, old ladies. I have that built-in common courtesy. On a train, I will get up and give an older lady my seat. On a bus, the buses that take you from the plane to the terminal, I've done that countless times. And it's just common courtesy. It's like if my wife was pregnant and that was her, I'd want someone to do that for her. I'd appreciate if someone did that for her. And you know what? It does happen. It definitely does, but it doesn't happen quick. It really doesn't happen here. Or at least it doesn't happen by certain people, and I'm not going to call out anybody, but you know exactly who I'm talking about if you're a Croatian and you're listening to me, or if you're a expat who doesn't give a shit, or if you're any of the above assholes that I am talking about, and you're like, oh, this guy, he's really an asshole. I don't want to listen to him anymore. Then shut it off. Don't listen to me. All right? Because you know why? You probably are offended by what I'm saying because you are that asshole or you do that time to time. That's okay, man. That's fine by me. Like, just don't do that shit around me. All right? And just be a little nicer about it. But what really gets me too is when people aren't courteous about children. Okay? Because my kid, again, I will see adults literally ass nudge my kid out of the way. And I'm like, excuse me. And they're, oh, I'm sorry. But in reality, he knew or she knew exactly what they were doing. And they weren't teenagers. They were grown-ass adults. Yeah, grown-ass adults doing that. Nudging my kid out of the way so that they could just stand closer to the register. That didn't make any goddamn sense. Oh, the best one is I'm at the grocery store with my wife the other day, and my wife is a power lifter. She's a fairly big woman, and I don't mean big like weirdly big, but she's, she takes up space, which is awesome. And she's a very strong woman. So she's at the grocery store, and this stupid son of a bitch, he pushes her out of the way so he can put his shit on the conveyor belt. And she's like, excuse me, in Arabic. And his friend is like, oh, back up. His friend pulled him away. And he's still relatively close to my wife. So me being me, DJ's on the other side. I'm just like, you know what? Screw this shit. I go in, I sandwich in between them, and I literally just give this guy a nice little nudge with my back, like 3 or 4 of them, to say, you know what? Back off, bitch. I will fucking eat you alive. I will fucking kill you. I will rip your fucking head off. I will show my male dominance in this arena right now because you are screwing with my wife. All right? And that to me, that pisses me off. Like when it comes to my wife and kid, it's, it's a different story, like, and I'm sure any guy out there, or any male or female out there will say the same exact thing when it comes to their loved ones, when it comes to their, the people that are close and near and dear to them. When someone disrespects them, they will stand up for them and they will probably chew someone's head off and destroy them. So My whole rant right now is really built on the essence of common fucking courtesy in our society, whether you're in Kuwait, the GCC, you're in Asia, you're in Europe, you're in America. It doesn't fucking matter where you are. Do not be that dickhead that cuts in the front of the line. Don't be that asshole that tries to nudge some little kid out of the way with his ass. And don't be that jerk that pushes some lady with her kid out of the way at the conveyor belt. Don't be the asshole that runs for the last seat on the bus going from the terminal so that the pregnant or the old lady can't sit down, you piece of shit. All right? Don't be that guy. Okay? And if you see that guy, tell them to get up. Or better yet, if you have that seat, why don't you get up for that old lady or that pregnant lady or whatnot? And, everyone can relate to what I'm saying. That's what it is. You can relate to exactly what I'm saying right now because I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've dealt with it. And I'm sure you're fucking sick of it too. And you know what? You should be. And you should say something. Because God knows these days that I say something. I'm very upfront these days. And I try to be as straightforward as possible. And if anyone ever listening to me or listening to the show or watching me on Instagram sees that I am not straightforward, please call me out on my bullshit. I will gladly accept it any day of the week. And remember, if you are offended by any of the statements said in this show, do not listen to it again. Do not subscribe. Do not leave me a rating and review. Do not tell your friends and family. Do not ever, ever listen to this shit again because it is not for you. Go cut some son of a bitch off in line and feel offended by the shit that I am saying right now, you piece of shit. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this, and I hope that you listen to the next episode. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram at The Project Thank You, and join us next time.